Hello my friend, this is LANDR Sampler. It's going to super streamline your workflow. It's basically doing a lot of plugins work all in one. It helps you manage, locate and organize your samples, making them at easy reach for you when you're working on your project, and it'll work with your DAW to lock into the tempo and the key of whatever track you're working on. When it comes to editing your samples, it's super powerful, and of course it's a whole ton of fun when it comes to playing your samples too. There's a whole bunch of effects bundled in with this too, which really makes it the one-stop shop sampler. Let's dive straight in. So here's something that's really cool about LANDR Sampler, and that's how it organizes your samples for you. If I head over to this cog here and click on settings, I get a sample locations tab. I can add a location. I'm going to choose my folder here, which is for stock samples. And that loads in my stock samples. That's 91 samples that I used to use for making stock licensing music. Head back over into settings, and I'm going to click on load samples, and it's going to load all the samples that are within that folder and put them together, analyzing its audio data and its metadata to kind of make me a kind of sample pack, if you like. Now all of the samples that it's analyzed and bundled together for me in my keyboard are available for me to play. If you want to work with a specific file, then you just hit the plus up here, and you can bring in any file or folder you want. Or you can do what I'm going to do right now and simply just drag and drop it off the desktop and drop it in. And here's a recording of me and my wife trying to capture the cat's meow pre-feed yesterday to have a bit of fun with this sampler.
Stop talking, shall I?
Yeah. So you can see here we've got a start and an end here on the actual sample itself. So I want to hone in on what I hope to be a cat's meow somewhere. Some bowls. Stop cluttering. You can play around here with and stretch the recording out super easily. Wow, that's a good one. Quite like that one. So I'm going to bring my end fader in here. Let's just open that out a little bit. Now if I want to keep this sample but I want to reload my sample bank, I can simply click on this padlock just above my cat sample, but I can click on load samples, and LANDR Sampler is going to give me a new set of playing cards, if you like, for the rest of my keys. Another really neat thing about LANDR Sampler is how quickly it allows you to find specific samples. Now if you've got thousands and thousands of samples, this is going to be a big game changer. You just click on advanced filters, and I'm going to put in cats, and straight away it's found 2 examples. That's going to really speed up your workflow when you're looking for the right sample to fit your song. So now moving from normal mode down the bottom here into chromatic mode, that's going to allow me to play my sample within my keyboard. That's the sample of my cat right there. The first thing I'm going to want to do is time stretch so that all the keys have the same timing. Now if I want to make it a bit more of a hit, just move in. Okay, so I'm just going to track a little riff into my DAW. But first off, I'm going to have a play around with these effects, which you can apply directly onto your sample. So we've got a whole bunch of different choices here. We've got a filter, chorus delay, crush, distortion and reverb. All very easy to play around with. So you can really change the sound with this filter. That's just softened it out a lot. Maybe add a little bit of grit with this distortion. Okay, let's track this in. So now I want to add a drum loop to my cat composition, and this is where LANDR Sampler gets really, really handy. You can get into these advanced filters and really find what you want really quickly. As we looked earlier, you've got the text search, but I can also hone things down with loop or one shot or both. And I can also decide on the length of the sample that I want it to search for too. Once loops have been assigned to a key, they're really easy to find just by these little spots at the end of the keys. So here's the loop that I've settled on. Now, of course, here I am in normal mode. If I wanted this to be a shorter loop, I can grab the start and the end and I can play around with this sample. But I'm going to head up into the third mode, that's the slice mode. And in slice mode, you can chop up your samples super easily. I'm going to grab the sensitivity and I'm just going to pull it up. And as I do, you'll see that these nodes start to appear, breaking down my sample more and more. These all into single hits. And as you go back down with sensitivity, you just get more like short splice loops. There's a number of different slice modes, so you can work out what works for you. So what I've done is extracted the kick and the snare. And I've got a little bit of hi-hat after that snare there, so I can get in and adjust these nodes manually until I'm super happy. And if you want to stretch them out, you can do so just adjusting the timeline here, so you've got a little bit more space to deal with. So now I'm going to take my kick and snare samples that I've created from splicing up that loop and create a very simple sequence in the sequencer section. And I can do that in LANDR Sampler simply by dragging and dropping. So I'm going to take my kick, put it on the first beat of the bar, just grab my snare. Let's take a listen to what we've got. Now, if I want to add any effects to these samples, I can do so to each individual sample. Just clicking on the effects section, I've got my snare sample just here. Let's say I want to add a little bit of reverb to my snare. And that's going to affect the snare whilst leaving the kick alone. If I want to add some further effects to my snare, let's say I want to add this filter in here, but I'm not happy with the chain order, then I can quite easily just grab these effects and just put them in a different order. And you can even choose how much you want of the overall effect mixed into your sample just by adjusting the level here. So now I want to export my sequence into my project, so I'm going to head over to the export tab here. I get a few choices. I can decide to bypass the effects and export it dry, or I could export it wet, which is exactly what I'm going to do. And on this occasion, I'm just going to drag it straight into my project. Okay, so I've just dropped in a little bit of synth as well. Let's take a listen to what I've created today with this cat composition. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to be winning any awards with that one, but I think what I have discovered today is just how powerful a LANDR sampler is. You can pretty much do anything that your creativity desires just within this one sampler. So if you're interested in checking out LANDR Sampler for yourself, you'll find it within LANDR Studio along with 40 other plugins like Vocal Align. You get the LANDR Mastering Pro plugin. You've got unlimited music distribution, samples, and loads more all bundled in. If you want 20% off LANDR Studio, you'll also find a discount code below this video. If you're solely just interested in the Sampler plugin, you can also buy it on its own too at $99. Again, you'll find the link below this video. If you enjoyed the video today, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to find out more about what's included in LANDR Studio, you definitely want to check this next video out.